The vibrancy and enthusiasm at the Global Entrepreneurship Congress is palpable. Representatives from more than 170 countries are in attendance, and it was the first time ever to be hosted on African shores.
It's a historic moment in Africa, simply because the world is here in Johannesburg, South Africa, to promote and sustain entrepreneurship globally. This is a wonderful opportunity for entrepreneurs, industry leaders, partners to gather, exchange ideas, share information, form collaborative business ventures, attract investors, and take their businesses to new levels of growth.
Africa is a very important continent, and there's a huge opportunity for development. And we hope, as European companies, that the role of Africa will be bigger and bigger in the world. So in Europe, we hope to have more and more contact with Africa, since until now, let's say that the relationship was not on an equal basis. So we really hope that Africans can learn from Europeans, but we have to learn a lot from Africans too. So making the contacts between companies, it's important, because when you start doing business together, you don't make wars. You shape a future, and you create wealth for both sides.
Johnson & Johnson is a multinational company which has been in Africa for 85 years now. They say they want to see entrepreneurs in Africa come up with their own solutions in healthcare.
Africa does not lack ideas. What we see a gap is when I look at Silicon Valley and Boston for biotech, the difference is there's funding available. Second is there's a lot of mentorship that happens with entrepreneurs. So for us, I think we felt that those were the two gaps, and we felt, I don't think Johnson & Johnson by itself could do everything, but we also feel that we could start it and get other industries to be involved in this. So our purpose is, one, we want to help some of the innovative ideas progress by funding them, but more importantly, we're actually committing to mentor all the startups to become real companies for the next 2 years. And this is not going to be a one-time thing. This is actually, we want to make sure everything we do in Africa is actually sustainable. Because it should never be about handouts anymore. I think people are so used to thinking, I need funding, and then after that you figure out what to do. I don't think that works very well. It never worked for startups in the US, and we're trying to implement the same thinking here in Africa.
Mentorship programs for budding entrepreneurs and startups are also plentiful in South Africa. My Big Startup representatives were really excited about sharing information on their offering.
My Big Startup is a platform for all startup levels. So very entry level, we have a show called Basic in English and isiZulu, and that provides information, how to start a business, how to register, the basic how-tos for the everyday person to understand how to get into business. We also have a show called The Big Deal, where we interview other entrepreneurs, and I think it's a lonely journey sometimes when you're starting business and you think it's only you that's going through certain things. So it's a really great show that allows you to know what other entrepreneurs are going through and how they overcome and how their businesses are growing. And I think it's always important for entrepreneurs to be inspired and to remain motivated. And then we have another show called My Big Pitch, where entrepreneurs get to come in and pitch their business idea on a particular show, and that will be available for investors to watch. So anybody can sign up on the platform for free, and there's available content on there. There's also a premium subscription where people can sign up onto that side, and that just means they get more information available on that as well.
It's all about stoking the fire, building anticipation and interest. Well, that's the pitch game when it comes to attracting investors. Local entrepreneurs had that opportunity right here at the conference.
So at the pitch zone, what it was is it's a narrowing down. Yesterday we had a pre-pitching of entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs, and I've seen a lot of them over here that got through to these pitching zones at GEC. And essentially what's happening is we've got 3 stages, and on these 3 stages there's over 100 companies that are busy pitching for various things, mostly for funding, but they're pitching their ideas, and ultimately these will be narrowed down to I think about 20 companies that are going to be put in front of investors that are from Silicon Valley and venture capitalists from all over the world. What they're really looking for is things like innovation, uniqueness of solutions, and how they're actually solving a problem in the specific sector in a different way that isn't the norm. So what we're seeing is people playing across various sectors, right through from agriculture, finance, So we've got quite a few fintech companies that we've seen, as well as guys who are starting to play in the e-commerce space, but putting a bit of an interesting spin on things, like pulling together and collating various stores and markets, because there's such a plethora out there and they're just pulling all of these together. But I think the really interesting space is starting to see things like innovation in green technology that we've seen being pitched over here, as well as then innovation in the Internet of Things, big data, pulling this together and turning it into meaningful information for the industries that they're targeting.
Well, it's all happening in Johannesburg, so if you're a budding entrepreneur, get out to the Sandton Convention Centre and make it happen. Catch the full report on Business Destination Joburg next Monday. Nashina Mohammed for Joburg Today.